Manchester United is said to be in pole position to sign Declan Rice. He reportedly is top of the transfer priority list for Manchester United, rated at anywhere between 80 and 120 million, depending on the publication you read. Declan Rice is hot property indeed. Many clubs across the spectrum want him. Many of the big Premier League and European clubs have been scouting him. And more reports are coming out daily that he is Man United's priority, and United are gaining pole position to get him. But this just doesn't match the other news coming out about Manchester United's transfers. Do not be dragged in. Do not buying at this moment in time, because there is a big, fat, dirty rat at play here. Let's jump right into it. Leave your comments below. Smash the like button. Let's do this. Welcome back to another episode of the Done Deal Show. Manchester United spent the majority of January chasing players. That's how it sounded listening to the media from pretty much the 20th of December right through until the remaining few hours and days of the January 2022 window. Most Manchester United fans believed that at least in the midfield area, reinforcements were needed for Ralf Rangnick's side. Fred doesn't work as a collective. Matic is too old. We have no idea about the future of Pogba, even to a degree when he's returning. There are reports that he'll be back after the international winter break, but who knows? He certainly doesn't look likely to be re-signing a deal to stay at the club beyond the summer. Donny van de Beek has gone out on loan. So the midfield area, whether there's numbers or not, is very weak at Manchester United. Reinforcements to many football fans appear to be absolutely imperative. Three names that were heavily linked with Manchester United were Hadara, Zakaria, and Kamara. And in the latter stages of the transfer window, we were told that Manchester United refused. That Manchester United turned down the opportunity to sign both of those players, coupled in with Julian Alvarez. Man United turned down the chance of signing those two midfielders. Why? In their respective positions, they are better than what we've got. And in terms of valuation of them both in this transfer market, it's about 15 to 20 million pounds. Let me clear my throat to say this, to sign them both. Man United wanted more money for loaning out Lingard than those two would have cost in terms of transfers. So even if they flop, they were cheaper collectively than Dan James. The risk is minimal to Manchester United. So again, why? Firstly, we were told there was no talks by certain journalists right towards the end. Go back and look, go research. No talks. United were never in for him. Nothing was going to happen. No talks. Now we're being told that we were offered the players, offered them, but said no. Unless I'm missing something, if you did not talk to anybody about those players, how could you have been offered them? And I don't believe these phone calls are like double glazing salesman knocking on your door or phoning you up with a cold call. You know, PPI. Hello? Do you have PPI? That's not how the agents aren't phoning up clubs saying, I'd like to speak to your sales department, please. Okay, well, I'll leave a message. Can you get him to give Dave a call back, please? I've got a couple of players I'm trying to sell. It's not how it's done.
Hello, can I speak to Man United recruitment team, please? We've got a couple of players that we've got on a brilliant offer right now. It's basically like a 2-for-1 special. Would you be interested? No? Okay, cheers, thank you.
That's not how it's done. There are detailed talks and conversations. Now, we know how the semantics work. People like to conflate advanced, detailed negotiations between clubs, detailed, advanced meetings between players, representatives, and clubs. They like to amalgamate them together sometimes to push the notion of no talks actually happened. And then what they do, if it was all done by intermediaries, they deny any official talks happened. But something doesn't add up here. Declan Rice is reportedly the man in pole position. That's impossible. How can he be? How can there even be a list that's prioritized? There can be a list. You can't have a priority list because we're not making any decisions until the new manager gets here, because that's what they've told us. We weren't in for anybody. We weren't looking to buy anybody. We said no to all these brilliant talents that got offered to us because we don't know who our manager's going to be. We don't know who our manager's going to be. We don't know what profile of player he wants. We don't know what he's going to want, who he's going to want to keep and who he's going to want to sell. We don't know what players are going to stay and are going to go because we don't know where our manager is. So how can Declan Rice be the number one priority of the new manager? So in one hand, you're saying you're only signing players for the new manager, but then you're telling the press that Declan Rice is our number one target. I smell a rat. It means one of two things. We were rejected by some of those players in the January transfer window, or we didn't want to pay the salary demands they had, etc. Or we did turn them down, and we are going to try and sign Declan Rice, irrespective of what the manager and the new director of footballing, technical footballing, weird decisions. And I'm just saying that because we don't know what anyone's jobs really are in that area right now. We don't know what Ralph's capacity is going to be. We're going to ignore them because we've already got a priority. And Declan Rice is amazing. But this is Man United again, isn't it? Seeking a shirt sale signing. And that isn't to say that Declan Rice won't improve Manchester United, because that's what the comment sections will say right now. How do you not think Declan Rice is going to improve you? He's better than Fred. He's miles better, a million miles clear of McTominay. Clear of McTominay. I know that. But we've got so many holes. Dropping over £100 million on one player is going to eat the budget, and we're still going to have holes. You can sign Ruben Neves. One of the players is gone now. Ruben Neves, Basuma, and Kamara collectively will cost less than Declan Rice. And as a collective, as a unit in midfield, make us better than adding Declan Rice to Fred or McTominay. So there's one of two things going on. My money is the club want a signature signing. My view is that this football club hasn't changed. The leopard ain't changed no spots. There should already be a club process in place. It doesn't matter who the new manager is going to be to a certain extent, because you buy the profile of player with the technical ability and mentality that matches how the club wants to play, and you employ a manager who buys into that club philosophy. Therefore, the types of players you were all identifying are within reason almost identical. Jurgen Klopp doesn't have a different ethos and philosophy and isn't reading off a different hymn sheet to FSG and the technical directors and footballing directors at Liverpool. It's in and around the same. And if they do argue over a player, those two players are similar in profile. So it becomes, which of these two brilliant options is the best? Not, I have no idea what type of midfield player we're going to buy. So we might very well be in pole position to get Declan Rice, because we'll drop the money in every single which way to get him, because it'll be amazing for the gram. It'll be amazing for Twitter. It'll be amazing for social media. And he will improve Man United. But I almost guarantee if this deal happens, there'll still be big, big holes in multiple areas of Man United next year, because we'll blow all the budget on the grandstand signing. And let's go back very quickly to the cap that the majority of Man United fans, for some weird reason, are buying into. We didn't sign anyone, talk to anyone, speak to anyone, negotiate with anyone, look at anybody in January because we're waiting for the manager to tell us his priorities. At the same time, you're telling the press that Declan Rice is the number one priority. Lies. Lies everywhere. Lies everywhere. Those two things cannot exist in any universe at the same time, in my opinion. Now, if you think they can, get in your comments and tell me why that is plausible. Please enlighten me. And I mean that with every ounce of respect possible, because I am confused and frustrated at the way this football club continues to operate on a day in and a day out basis. Before you leave, smash that like and share button for us. Subscribe to the Football Terrace. But until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again.